Welcome everyone to this game of Bassem Amin, Africa #1 against Vishy Anand. Vishy has the white pieces, the players shake hands, and this is the final round of the Casablanca Chess in Morocco. You can see the arbiters giving the sheet to both the players. They have to start from a position that is somewhere into the game of a world championship match before that has been played. So, it's just a fresh position of which they have no idea, and the arbiter says you can have a look at the sheet. Bassem opens it and Vishy waits for a bit and then opens it, and now they make the moves. It's e4, c5, the Sicilian, knight f3, knight c6, the open Sicilian with d4, pawn takes, knight comes out to f6, knight c3, d6. We have the classical and the rouser with bishop g5, pawn comes up, queen moves forward, a6, white long castles. I'm sure Vishy has played this quite often, but a small practical problem for Bassem is that I don't think he plays the open Sicilian with white, nor does he play the Sicilian with black. So for him, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to understand the plans in the position. Takes back with the pawn, just so that the d6 pawn is defended. Pawn pushes forward, d5 played by black, king b1, and now bishop d7, and the queen comes back, and black now pushes f5, and this is the position on the board. They have made 14 moves over here, and now both players get 2 minutes to think in this position, and then we begin with the game. Now, a very natural move in this, by the way, this is from the match between Alisa Galliamova. Xie Jun is white, Alisa Galliamova is black. This happened in 1999 in the Women's World Championship. The main move here is g4. It's such a natural move and also a strong move, because after takes, you go h3, and this was played in the game. Also, Magnus found this continuation against Hikaru Nakamura on the adjoining board. But what is Vishy's way going to be in this position? He's thinking carefully, and now very soon the game will begin. In this tournament, Vishy Anand has had one loss to Magnus. Apart from that, he has had 2 draws against Nakamura and 1 draw against Bassem, while Bassem has had 3 losses, and today has not been a great day for him because he's lost his games to Carlsen and Nakamura. The players shake hands, and we are ready to roll now. Vishy's time is ticking. And is he ready with his move? Will he go for g4? That's the question. Well, he goes for the knight and plays knight e2. And his point is to put the knight on d4. An important move for black now is to go h5 in order to stop any g4 ideas. And I think that's a very logical move. Also, the knight on d4 is not like a permanent outpost, because the bishop can always come and remove it. Bassem goes b4. And I think Vishy now plays his queen to f3. He could have gone g4 again, and I think it's very important for Bassem to go h5, but he goes queen b6. Interesting move, but this allows white now to break with g4, which is the main idea in this position. And I think the pawn has to be taken. Yes, he captures it. Queen takes on g4, and if white can get knight into the center and pushing his pawn forward, he should be doing very well in the position. Bassem plays, whoa, long castle. What an interesting move. He feels that his position is fine, secured, and he wants to go there, but Vishy starts prodding. He attacks the f7 pawn, and it's not so easy to defend this pawn. Maybe bishop e8. He goes f5, which is logical, because if you take here, then bishop f6, and suddenly the bishop is on a very nice diagonal. So as white, you don't want to take en passant. You want to let it be. You want to put your knight on d4, but Vishy goes rook g1. And his plan is to play rook to g7. He plays pawn to a5, which is a good move. Black's position does look promising. Will Vishy now enter into the black's camp with rook g7? Yes, he does. Rook g7 on the board, attacking the bishop on e7. How is Bassem going to respond to this now? The bishop is attacked. I think he must go bishop c5, putting his bishop on this wonderful diagonal. But he's thinking, and he plays bishop f8. This is to distract the rook away from the 7th rank. And of course, if you go rook f7, there is bishop e8 skewering there. So I think the best move is to take the pawn on h7. Just win a pawn and hope that everything remains fine in your position. That's exactly what Vishy does. He takes it. And I think a good move now is to go bishop e8, hitting the queen. The queen has to move away, and then you take, and in this ensuing position, black is very solid. Pawn down, but has a very good position. Let's see what Bassem does. Does he go back bishop e8, or does he play something else? Does he exchange the rooks? That is the question. He's thinking about his strategy here. He takes, rook takes, queen takes on h7 has been played, and now I think many ways for black to continue. a4, king b8. The position is still very sharp. White's h pawn is strong, but it will take a lot of time for it to reach. Oh, he's going for the queen. Where does he want to move his queen? He plays his queen to f2. This is not particularly a great move. In fact, it's a losing move. If Vishy can find knight d4, very important moment in the game, and Vishy finds it. Knight d4, fantastic move. The key point being that if you take here, I have knight takes e6, 4 king here, and if you take the knight, I have bishop a6 with a mate coming through. That is the big tactic here. Bassem actually takes the pawn. Oh my god. Has he just gone crazy? What? After knight takes e6, and Vishy is ready for that move. He chops off. That's a combination right there. Queen e5 played, and now bishop a6 check, king b8, and he takes on f8, not on d8, because if you take here, bishop g7 is a very powerful threat. But because he played now this, if you take rook takes f8, the d7 bishop is hanging. So very smart and quick play by Vishy Anand, and I think Bassem has nothing much left in this position. He's simply a pawn down, piece down, and he can resign this game. Queen f2, entering with the queen, was such a natural move, but it was the incorrect one, and now there's nothing that can be done to correct the situation. A resignation is imminent here. Bassem has a lot of time on the clock, but what to do with the time when your position is completely bad? It has been a tough day for him. He started off with a loss against Nakamura, then he lost his game to Magnus, where he was fighting really hard, and now this one where he's blundered and he resigns there in 27 moves. You can see there the kings are placed in the center of the board, and well, Bassem has lost the game. Maybe he will adjust his king perhaps. Vishy talks about some of the lines that he's calculated, win or loss. He generally likes to analyze. Let's see if we can hear them as to what they are speaking.